Hey everyone, it's Enigma Hood. And I'm going to be criticizing Joe Siegler again. Because I have the right to. I'm protected by the First Amendment, and he can't silence me or anyone else that criticizes him. We have the right to criticize people. And Joe Siegler, you're just gonna have to deal with it. You know what? You taking down those videos, censoring me, has only made me more willing to make videos about you. I haven't even made any videos about you recently, and I wasn't planning on it. But now I'm going to make more videos, criticizing you, as you deserve. Because you are a scumbag. And yes, that is a valid assessment of you. So I'm going to be criticizing Joe Siegler. He put himself out there. He's open to criticism. And I'm asking all my viewers to please mirror this video. Please mirror this video because they can't censor us. If you support freedom of speech, then that's the only reason you need. Because freedom of speech is important to all of us. So please mirror this video if you can. Send me a PM if you don't know how to do this. Okay, if you don't know who Joe Siegler is, he's a nobody. But he used to work at 3D Realms. And he did absolutely nothing there. He did nothing there. He designed, quote unquote, designed the website, and he was the forum moderator. That's it. And he refilled the Coke machines. That's it. But he desperately tried to put himself out there. He put himself on Twitter. He put himself on IMDb. He tried to make a Wikipedia article about himself. He tried to do interviews with Dr. He actually did like an interview with some guy, Dr. Doolittle or something like. I don't even remember his name. It was a fucking stupid ass interview. He tried desperately to promote himself, and he's notable for nothing, absolutely nothing. And the fact of the matter is, like, I go into why he deserves to be, why he's a jerk in another video. You need to check out my playlist on 3D Realms on why Duke Nukem Forever is going to suck ass, and I do an in-depth analysis on why Joe Siegler deserves all the criticism that he gets from me. But in short, when he was running his forum on 3D Realms, he was acting like Hitler. He was acting like a Nazi, and he was basically harassing the users, making them feel like garbage, silencing freedom of speech, silencing their opinions and things like that. And he basically just upset a lot of people, and he was in the wrong. He was definitely wrong. And people like that cannot go unpunished, so I'll never forgive him. Okay, today I'm going to criticize something I came across about Joe Siegler. I wanted to criticize something else, another website, but I can't find that one at the moment, but I did find this. It's a forum post, not a whole big deal, but still I thought it was pretty funny. It's called, it was on something called CS Nation. I'll have a link down in the bottom. I'll put a link down in the bottom so you can check it out yourself. And it's entitled, Joe Siegler of 3D Realms is angry, upset. And here's how the forum post reads. Joe Siegler, the now former webmaster of 3D Realms, is just a tiny bit angry with how some of the Duke Nukem fans are treating the 3D Realms closure. For the fans, it's more of a loss of the future of Duke than the loss of a job. Here, Siegler addresses a fan who says they lost sleep just thinking of how much time we've wasted anticipating Duke Nukem Forever. And this is what Siegler says. Siegler the fat ass. I could barely sleep last night worrying about where my paychecks will come from after the final one I get in a week. I could barely sleep worrying that I will be able to be successful in my replacement job at Burger King. Okay, no, he didn't say at Burger King, but I wouldn't be surprised if he worked at Burger King or at McDonald's or even like as a custodian, excuse me, janitor at a high school. Anyway, he continues as follows. I could barely sleep knowing that I have a baby coming in 3 weeks right after I cease getting paid. And then he writes in capital letters, Don't do this to me by whining about a game. Some of us have real major life problems. It's just a game. Who cares? My life and my family are at risk. Don't insult me. And then the forum post continues as saying, he continues on to address another fan who asked if a bigger plan was being worked on, perhaps a merger with EA or another large development studio. And Siegler the fat ass states, why do people assume these options weren't explored? What puzzles me is that people think that these things didn't happen because they didn't hear about them. Well, I'm not going into details, seem to be operating under the assumption of, well, we're going out of business. We weren't trying to fix it before the announcement, so let's not try anything. Come on. It should be noted that Siegler also runs and maintains a Texas Rangers fan site and a Black Sabbath fan site. While he is not asking for donations through the 3D Realms website, he will happily take your money through the two other ventures. And that is true. He is literally begging people for money on his other two websites, you know, those crappy, shitty-ass websites. And let's read a few of the responses. Okay, this one guy called Linux says, I'm with you on that. Don't blame the people who wanted the game to come out for your personal life issues. I'm sure there are tons of other people in the same boat as him, but you don't see them crying over the internet. And yeah, that's true. Joe Siegler, you're not the only one with problems. So for you to react in that way, to be so hostile towards a forum poster who doesn't really give a shit about your life, and nobody else in the world has to care about you or your life or your family. Honestly, we don't have to care, and we don't care. That's your problem. And guess what? You deserve to lose your job. You deserve to be fired, because you're not a good person. You got to coast through life for so many years, over a decade, I believe. And now you actually are you have to pay for your mistakes. You have to pay now. That's what you deserve. Alright, moving on. One was from the game. Yeah, and here's what Shorty says, another user. Does it suck for them? Sure, but we all wanted from them was the game. So what does he expect us to say? That's all I need to read from that. I mean, that says it all. I mean, we don't need to care about you, Joe Siegler. Let me read one more. Okay, this one's my favorite. This one's username is called Cry Me a River. And then he says as follows: This is pathetic. Joe Siegler needs to get a job and get a life. Like I said to him on his Black Sabbath fan site forum, the post was removed because the truth hurts. He needs to quit begging money off of fans. People lose their jobs every day. People have babies every day. Everybody nowadays is having financial troubles, but most of them don't resort to begging. This is the second time in recent memory, the last being January 1st, 2008, that Joe Siegler has solicited money from fans who visit his sites asking them to support him and his family. You can find screenshots of Joe Siegler's complete site news post from his Black Sabbath fan site from last year when he was begging the fans for money here, 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 and here, and those are hyperlinks. However, this time his Black Sabbath site news post is considerably shorter. This time he leaves out the over-exaggerated, oh woe, poor me crap and goes straight for the money. And he makes the same exact post on his Texas Rangers fan site. Folks, in case you misunderstood his motives, Joe is not looking for money to support his fan sites. He's asking money for himself. Joe Siegler needs to grow some balls and get a job. Right now, his behavior is no better than the guy on the freeway off-ramp with a sign in his hand, except Siegler's sign is on the internet, and he does his begging from his climate-controlled room. Like I said, pathetic. Absolutely. That says it all. I'm not the only one who is criticizing you, Joe Siegler. And now I'm going to expose you for the fraud that you are. Joe Siegler, you can't censor us. The truth hurts.